Hello, let's continue our Sudoku adventure with this puzzle by Luda3 called Adventure into the Wild. So let's go over the rules. You can check the description for a link to try this out yourself first, and then I will solve it. So we have irregular 6x6 rules. So it's just like Sudoku, except instead of boxes, we have these outlined regions that each have 6 cells. So in every row, every column, and then in every region, we're going to have the digits 1 to 6 exactly once. So a little bit different than your standard boxes, but I'm sure you can handle it. Additionally, these blue lines are called region sum lines. The total of the line in each region must equal the same amount. So let's take this line, for example. It goes through 2 different regions. So if this was, say, 2, 3 adding to 5, then this could be 1, 4 also adding to 5. And that would be fine. If I did 1, 5, though, this adds to 6, and this adds to 5. That would violate the lines constraint. All right, so those are the rules. Definitely check the description. Try the puzzle out yourself. These are designed to introduce you to the constraints, so I'm sure you can handle it, and you'll have a lot of fun. And then you can come back and see how I solve it. So I'm going to get started right now. So the first thing is this here. This works just like an arrow when there's only 1 in one region. If you're familiar with the arrow constraint. If not, that's okay. So let's think about what the minimum of these 3 cells is. Well, they have to be all different numbers. So if I did 1, 2, 3 here, that actually adds to 6, which is the maximum single digit in a 6x6. So this has to be a 6, and then this is 1, 2, 3. Now 1, 2, 3 is gone from the region. So this adds to at least 9. And it could add to as much as, actually there's no 6 here. Right, that's perfect. So we can place the 6, and then this is 4, 5, and it does add to 9. So these two also add to 9. So how do we add to 9? Well, it's only 3, 6, or 4, 5, using the digits 1 to 6. And we can't do 4, 5. If we did 4, 5, we'd have too many 4, 5s in this row. We can't fill 3 cells with 2 digits. So this has to be 3, 6 instead, and we know the order of the 3, 6. That's 3, that's 6. This can't be a 3 anymore. And we're off to a very good start here. I'm going to fill 1, 2, 3 here, just because we know we have the 4, 5, and 6 taken care of. Same thing here, I'm going to do 4, 5, and 6. This can't be a 6. This is interesting. We do have 4 cells equaling the total of 3 cells, so I'm thinking that might be restricted. In fact, because this is a 4, 5, 6 triple, this is the 1, 2, 3 triple. So we know this adds to 6. And so this adds to at least 10. It adds to 10, 11, or 12. So these 3 cells also add to 10, 11, or 12. But 1, 2, 3 are gone. So these are from 4, 5, 6. So if I included the 6, I'd already at least add to 10. But let's think about it a different way. If this were 4, 5, that would add to 9. And that's going to actually force the sum. No matter what 2 we use here, we know what the sum's going to be, and that will tell us what this value is. So let's do case checking is what it's called. So if there's only 3 cases. If this was 4, 5, that adds to 9. And then this would be a 6, and so we would add to a total of 12. So if I did 4, 5, that's 9, how do I get to 12? I would need a 3 to go along with that. That seems possible. Another option is 4, 6, which leaves 5 here. So if this was 5, we would add to 11. And with this adding to 11 and this being 4, 6, that's 10. This would have to be a 1. And then if this was a 4, then these would add to 10. This would be 5, 6. That's 11. That's already way too big. So this actually cannot be a 4. So there's actually only 2 cases that work. This being a 5, adding to 11, this is 4, 6, 1, or this being 6, adding to 12, this being 4, 5, 3. So that's interesting. I'm wondering if that step should have been done a little later, but I don't mind showing the case checking here. Okay, what else do we want to do? We know that there's a 4 and a 5 in here somewhere, but I'm not sure exactly what to do with that yet. We do see that these 3 digits add up to these 2 digits, and this is already pretty low, and this can't be a 6. So what is the minimum these 3 add to? And actually, by filling 1, 2, 3 here, we see that this cannot be 1, 2, 3. Because if this was 1, 2, 3, again, we'd have 3 digits for 4 cells. That's not allowed. So the minimum this could add to is 1, 2, 4, adding to 7. The max this can be is 3, which means this is at least 4. This has to be 4 or 5. I don't know if I want to case check this, but the maximum this can add to is 8. And so the maximum this can add to is 8, which means it does have to contain a 1, because 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 9. So you must have a 1 in order to add to 8 or lower. So actually we only add to 7 or 8. Because this can't add to 6 or lower. So this does contain a 1. That means this can't be a 1. I'm going to corner mark 1s on here. And then, okay, let's look at how we get to 7 or 8. Well, with the 4, the only option is to do 4, 3, because we can't do 4, 4 to get to 8. So if this is a 4, it's 4, 3, and then we add to 7. If this is a 5, then we could add to 7 or 8 with a 2 or a 3. So this is never a 1. That's good to know. I don't think we can immediately act on that, though. Okay, so we do know that these two are the same digit as each other. So these are clones because the sum of one cell is the same as the sum of the other cell. These are the same. So they can't be 1. They can't be 6. But I'm actually not seeing 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not seeing anything restricting that further. This 2, 3 here may interact with this a bit. Because this adds to 7 or 8. So we know that the column, I wonder if this will work. We know that the column in a 6 by 6 always sums to 21, because just 1 through 6, if you add them up, that's 21. Without the 6, these cells are going to add to 15. And so if this were 7, these would add to 8. And if this were 8, these would add to 7. So these also add to 7 or 8. That feels like a good way to think about it. So how are we going to add to 7? Well, this can't be 2 or 3. That's important because otherwise we won't be able to reach 7. If this was 4, this would be a 3. If we wanted to add to 8, we could do 5, 2 or 5, 3. So it's the same exact deal as these two. So that's actually pretty interesting. I like that a lot, Luda. So whatever goes here also goes here. Interesting. So I mean, we have this pair here. It feels like there's something to do with that, but I'm not 100% sure. I guess okay, well, so I'm actually going to use some colors here. I'm going to make this green and this green. And green denoting that it'll end up the same digit in the end. And so where does, this is it. Where does green go? Because green is somewhere in this region. Well, we know that it's not 1, 2, or 3 because it's only 4 or 5. And it can't go here or here because then it would share a row with these two greens. So it actually goes here. This is green. And so now we look and 5 is the only common digit between these. So these are all 5. And now we can clean up quite a bit here. And actually, now we know, I don't need these colors anymore. Now we know that this adds to 10. This in total adds to 11. This adds to 10. This is a 1. So I guess we probably didn't have to case check that, but that's okay. And then these are from 1, 2, 3. This can't be the 1. This can't be the 3. And actually, where does 5 go in this region? These 5s look in. And this can't be a 5. So this is a 5. And actually, we know that these add to 7 or 8, but we don't know which yet. But what we do know is that these are 2 different digits. And I'm not sure we need to use that, but that's going to be pretty fun to use. Oh, no, we don't need to use that. We have a 2, 3 pair here. Let me tell you what I was going to do. It's absolutely not necessary for this puzzle, but I think it's a neat observation. So what does this add to? 7 or 8? If it adds to 7, this adds to 7, and this adds to 8. Otherwise, this adds to 8, this adds to 8, this adds to 7. So this adds to the opposite of this, and because these are both 5, that means these are 2 different digits. Again, if I were to color, I would maybe color this green and this purple. And so this is what we might call a remote pair through the medium of this craziness here. And so we have 2 and 3 represented in these 2 cells, which means this cell would not be able to be a 2 or a 3. Because it sees both the purple version of 2, 3 and the green version of 2, 3. Also, this cell can't be 2, 3. That might come in handy later. But we also could have done this if I just make this purple. This is a 2-3 pair. So this is a 1, this is a 2, this is a 3, purple is 3, that's a 2. Okay, absolutely didn't need that. But it was still fun, right? So this ends up a 2, 3. Let's clean up as much as we can first. So now we know this adds to 7. This has to be 1, 2, 4. So we need 1 and 4 remaining. This digit's just fillable for many reasons. It's a 4. This digit's fillable. It's a 2. I was going to say this is a pair, 3 and 6. We know the order because of this 6, 3 and 6. This is a 1, 2 pair. That's where 3 goes. This is for the row 1 or 4, but we have a 1 in the column. So that's 4, that's 1, that's 4. Up here, we're being told this 6 looks up. This 4 looks left, 5 and 4. This is a 1 or a 2 for the row, but it can't be a 1. So that's 2, that's 1, that's 2. Oops, I typed 5, that's 2. And then for the row, we need a 1. This 1 just keeps on giving, doesn't it? And we need a 5. Well, that was a really cool puzzle. I enjoyed that. So thank you, Luda. I probably did some more complicated things than I needed to, but I think this is a good opportunity to showcase some pieces of logic that you might find interesting that maybe you didn't use yourself, because I somehow missed something obvious and did something complicated instead. So let me know how you did on this, whether you enjoyed the puzzle and whether you enjoyed my solve. And stay tuned for more Sudoku adventures in the future. And until then, if you enjoyed this video, why not leave a like and subscribe?